This guy right here is very, very important. He actually played Chuck Norris. I thought it said something about CDL. CDL Walker or something. I don't know what they're talking about. This is the man who played in, as well as the guy of Mr. Binford. I didn't really know that in the beginning. But Noble Henry Willingham Jr., August 31st, 1931. Minolia, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it anyway. Or pronounce it Texas, USA. Yeah. He was age 72. Wow. God, you can tell about a lot of people. I didn't realize he was a Republican. But even so, it doesn't really stop the fact of them being, or negate the fact, same thing really anyway, but being a good actor, and I think he did a pretty good job. But in fairness, you wouldn't have recognized him with as Benford, or as Mr. Benford versus here if you were watching Mocker Texas Ranger. So yeah, I mean, I would say he was actually looking way older here than he did on with him being Mr. Binford on the two-time hit show with Home Improvement. So yeah. Anyway, jeez, man, these additional citations for verification. No, I'd say it's true because I know for a fact. I mean, I wouldn't have said I know for a fact that that was his name because I never knew, but it makes plenty of sense. Anyway, later. Yo, 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 yo! Welcome back. Welcome back to the Black King Plays Final Fantasy VII. This is episode, I don't know, 67, 68, I don't know. I'll know it by the time I get done here. Because I do recognize each episode by their numbers now, depending on how much time I've put into them. And I will know by the number when I go look it up as well. But anyway, what a crew. I'll say what a crew. Well, I'm Rufus. Blah, 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 blah. Your only present call your old man bit the butt. Yep. He sure as hell ain't into no... I like how he's walking. I remember how he walked up to each and every character when he did his speech here. He is a speaker, even though he's talk about how his old man liked to do a bunch of speeches anyway. Apparently, though, he walked up to Tifa, excuse me, as I call her Tifa anyway, then walked over to her, Aries, not Aries, anyway, I'll see you a little bit. This suit is somewhat oddly familiar to what he wears in the movie, but not completely the same, although it's not as bulky or heavy either. Anyway. He likes to make speeches just like his father. Oh my dogs, what is the point of the way he's posing there? He's just gonna wand up, put his leg a certain way. It's like, what the hell, man? Anyway, I'll tell you later. Just take my word for it. Now, I'll go after I take care of. At this point, I don't think we can save. So you should have saved beforehand. Because, yeah. Just in case you might have to repeat the whole... Are we recording, by the way? Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't sure. I didn't remember. I'm tired. Anyway, what time is it anyway? Oh, it's almost 12 o'clock. Anyway, yeah, so you might be having to repeat over the fight if you're not strong enough or unable to do it if you weren't set up correctly. And then we'll give two options to set up your characters the way you want them. You can keep them with no materials. I tend to do it, well, not always, but I tend to. Sometimes it has a random chance where which really makes no sense, but yeah, you can only set them up with certain amounts of materia. But anyway, certain ones you want on these guys are gonna make a difference. So I will tell you this much though: having steel won't do you no good unless you're able to steal from the enemy. And then the ones that are coming up, you can't steal from them anyway because they're gonna be out of reach, and so yeah, we'll kind of keep that on Cloud, even though he won't be able to get nothing either. But either way. So God, I just thought of something. So at this point, even though it says Cloud and Tifa, she doesn't have any material on. But anyway, at this point, the one that's in charge right now is obviously Ares. So yeah, we could do that. So anyway, I'll see you later. I'll wait for Cloud. Everyone, get to the elevator. See, we can't get back up there to do any saving, so there's not much point we can do. Unless, of course, you implement the cheat code save anywhere. So, which means, like, okay, you could also somehow, if you're able to do it, you can implement a in-game cheat, which by means, in other words, not actually saving it from a Game Shark or anything, but you can actually get to where if you use the crystals, because there's saved crystals, which I had never even heard of before, but anyway, you can actually use them in an in-game cheat. I'm not sure how to do it myself personally because I've never done it, but there is a way to do it where you can save anywhere, even at this point, even though you can't actually get the crystals until much later, but you can go as far back as this and be able to save. So, yeah, anyway, if you can't, don't worry about it. Just make sure you save before, because you don't want to have to go through all that stuff. That's what I did. I saved. Even though I can't save after the fact, I went through all that stuff that I went through. Anyway, later. So at this point, you also might want to go ahead and upgrade them to, unless of course you are able to steal some carbon bangles, which would come in handy. I don't remember what enemy where you can steal them from. And you can do that. You can also buy them at some point later in the game. But for right now, they're useful. There's also ones that are called Shimra Beta. They're even way more useful. Even though they're not half as useful as other ones later on in the game. But you don't need those right now. And they still have to get whatever you got right now. But anyway, I only had I thought I had a couple. But anyway. I went ahead and upgraded her to her striking staff, which I didn't remember ever getting one, but anyway, just so I can have more slots. And I gave him the carbon bangle because I can't upgrade his weapon. So all I could do is downgrade it, and that's about it. Anyway, I gave him the carbon bangle because, see, Nanaki has only, even though it's a Mythic Club, he has one more slot. So, I mean, even though I could go ahead and give him another one, but it would just be downgrading him. Or give him another one that's exactly the same. So, as you can tell, there's only going to be one member that has one more slot on their armor, which is fine. So, But anyway, Ares is in charge of this crew. But anyway, I'll see you later. Okay, so I went ahead and did some things off screen here. So before we go into the next skill, I went ahead and set up my character a certain way. Now I don't always do it this way, but because she is typically mainly a healer, I went ahead and set her up with some healing spells, like with an all. And even though it's got more AP to it, which actually helps to get better range of being able to use all. And I set her up with Cure. She has cloud spells, lightning, and ice. So, it helps out to use them. I mean, even if you're not actually using them, it actually gives them, some AP whenever you use them, even in boss fights. So, anyway, I gave him one with the lowest AP, which I could build it up pretty quick during fights. But anyway, he's got the about one of the highest fires right now. Which also, even though we don't need but more than one, I'm gonna actually go ahead and increase it and maybe get it to at least halfway or master. And then I'm gonna sell it because it actually gives you a lot for it when you like halfway through or Well, actually, it gives you even more than that when you actually master it. So, yeah, I could sell it, and I'll get the one that has a hell of a lot more already into it, which is well, anyway, that one will get mastered, but we'll keep that one because we only need one. Anyway, I got enemies. I've got cover, um, enemy skill, and I got sense on him. Now, the reason you want to do this is for a reason. Now, you don't have to do this. I don't even always do this myself. I usually typically make him a main healer because I don't have anybody else that I could really particularly do unless I put like Cloud as one because he could be one. Actually, anyone can be with. Get a little adjusted because that's why I kind of went wherever it was. So anyway, the reason is because you want him to be able, especially because he's got more HP and more able to protect more. You could make well, the next character do it, but nah, I'd rather do that so that way that he can also get um, whatever enemy skills are coming up towards that. So that's the reason why you want to have the cover on that guy. Now this guy I set up with his Nanaki with what we already had, which was all this came from him. I can definitely tell because the one I had didn't have this much in it. I'm not even sure where the other one came from, but anyway, this is also his fire that has a lot of fire on it, and this is the one that's gonna be kept. He's also got poison on him, which Now the one that we've had all along, like we've been working on, is this one right here. Like I said, I don't know where the other one came from, but it has a 53 on it for the all, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, I just wanted to go over that quickly enough before I continue on. Alright, I'll see you in a little bit. Like I said before, this is just a temporary party setup. I might switch out. Well, actually, I would have if I had more time to do it for her to get her limit breaks done. But I'm just not gonna do that because I just rather get through it all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Anyway, I'll see you when I see you. Now, before I go in one more time, you can definitely tell that she's in charge because look at who's here is there. You can't make him switch out like you can in some games. Even though in the party formation you can make him any way you want to in battle, but anyway. You might want to get a long look last again about this entire fort because we won't be seeing this again forever. It might be when some later on when we come back, like way later, and that's like after we lose someone. I'm not gonna go whoever it is. But anyway, the point as well in the game that I'm like looking forward to anyway. See you later. Now we're on the elevator, and this is what happens. I went ahead and implemented. I unlocked the crystal glitch my own way. But anyway, let's not go there or to save. So instead of using a save state, because I only use save states for other reasons. But anyway, here we go. I could have sworn I would have used that one bad music, but there's actually two bosses in this fight, and there's one more. There's actually totally three, but two for these guys and one for another character. Anyways, see you then. Also, I should point out that you remember when I said you can't reach him for steel, but you can't. So you can't really do much. The only thing you can do is use limit breaks, or magic on this attack. So anyway, later. I should also point out the reason why I gave her cure wasn't just because she's a generally basic character that can heal, but because she can't always use your limit break at all times. She can only use it once, just like anybody else. Anyway. One more thing, it's important to scan the bosses when you have sense. That way you know the HP. When if you don't have a way to have the sense, there's no point in even going with, oh, it's got like so much. Because I don't want to sit there and go like, well, maybe I need to break the code or something just to figure it out. Like, no. Which, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Seal all evil does not work on machines, by the way. At least I don't think it does. Good timing. This is the only one that actually... There's only 2 people who can use, like, you know, on these kind of guys, I believe anyway. Like him. And maybe her. So let's do this. Alright, yeah, these bosses are actually weak against thunder, but not all bosses have weaknesses. Next boss. Heli Gunner. Alright. And for that fight, we got a mithril armlet. Alright, later. Also, just so you can tell, yeah, we're on the 70th floor. Final floor, even though that there's also the roof, but it doesn't really say roof. It just says 70th floor even when you come out to this point. I don't think it says, maybe it does. Of course, I've never been able to come back to this point because I never knew about how to come up here. But we'll go over that way later on. So, you know, anyway, later. Also, before we continue on, I went ahead and set up a cloud with what I can give him because he didn't have very much slot spaces. But it doesn't matter anyway. So I went ahead and gave him back his starting material, which is lightning or bolt. I guess it does make it different, but anyway. Got ice on him. I've got cure. As you can tell, I have no all because all only works if you have, you know, more than one party member. So it wouldn't make doom. It's just like when you try to use fire on an opponent. Unless there's more than one, there ain't much point. So I also got aiming skill, even though the aiming skill for some reason I can't, you know, get anything anyway. I put elemental on him. I put fire, the highest order. By hardest order, actually, the one that's Nanaki's. And I got poison on him. I also have sense, which is Nanaki's, because you can tell that based on how much has been put into it. So, you know, yeah. So, anyway, I went ahead and saved. Anyway, see you in a little bit. How do you want to fight me? I see. I guess this means we won't become friends. I guess we won't become friends. So if you can tell, I guess it only happens when Cloud's in the party. I guess, or when they're together. I don't know, when you actually finally get, the name of this song is called Those Who Fight On. Or Fight Further? I don't know, anyway. Also, before I continue this on, like I said before, make damn sure that you scan, because if you don't, you'll never get another opportunity. However, there is no way to sense other enemies in the game before you get the material, unless you somehow get the material to come in handy. There is a way to do it, which would break the game, and I'm not gonna do that. I've never done it before, and I'll never do it. I mean, unless, of course, I make my own version of it. It should probably never be, but anyway, you know, later. One of the greatest themes in this entire game, actually, it's my favorite. It's actually the only one I think great of all. But anyway, if you can't tell, yeah, it's going to continue on until a certain point. But anyway, see a little bit. We're actually in the room where Shinra was killed. And he's still there. I don't remember his body still being there. But anyway, we're still on the 70th floor. So, anyway. Now I'm going to go over his setup this time as well, because I've decided to change it up. Now, what I've done, as well, is I've given it to other people so I didn't have to worry about it. But other people, I mean, the ones that's going to be in my party. So, because the next fight coming up as well, you can't, there's literally no point in even having steel. Now, you could put steel in there, but you'll get nothing. So, I'm not going to bother with it. And anyway, I've got all of ours on cloud, and I've got restore, and because he doesn't have it down here, otherwise I would have put that down there so that, because he, without that, you see how that looks like it's, or just got a bar in between it, I mean just linked up. Without that, the all has no effect. Well, there's actually only two reasons all doesn't have any effect, is if you don't have any other party members, and if it's not linked up. So, yeah, anyway. Also, I put the lightning over here. I put enemy skill over there. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, since elemental is about the same. Put ice on him. I put back cover on him. So there you have it. And so the people that I'm going to have in my party are going to have, which is going to be Barrett with all and fire once again. And so he has all fire, which is actually his original all fire, and poison. He also has another sensibility, which, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and try to max out that one and just like sell it. So, you know. Anyway, that's about all there is to it. See you later.